It didn't take long. The three amigos are all lying together, and this makes me the happiest person in the world right now. I can't believe I'm like, this is just too good. I know for Morgan, he spent a lot of time with three young males like this, and in fact these particular three. Did you see the cheetah at Djuma? You did? Oh no, on Buffelshoek. Djuma and Buffelshoek. Okay, so you've had quite a bit of cheetah time. I haven't had nearly as much. And to have these three young males, especially because we've been able to follow their escapades in the last few months, it's really been absolutely exceptional. I'm so happy that I get to meet them. Even if they are just lying down, hiding from the wind a bit, I'm sitting with three male cheetahs. It's incredible. Yuppie, an agitated cheetah, you'd be able to tell from the mood, kind of portraying in body language, if that makes sense. So the position of the tail, the position of the ears, any form of pacing, any form of showing teeth, things like that, that's what you would be looking for. I suppose the more time you spend with cheetahs, the more familiar you get with it. But to me, an agitated cheetah would have its ears back, it would be showing its teeth and even its gums. By the time you show gums, you're really angry. And a flicking tail, pacing, anything like that would show a bit of agitation. But cheetahs are really well known for hissing. When they want to be vocal, they will hiss, kind of like a house cat does, a bit of a hiss. And that's what really the kind of last step would be for a cheetah. So that's once you've kind of crossed all the boundaries, you'll see them do it to each other if they're fighting, if they're uncomfortable. That's kind of what you'll see before an actual physical altercation breaks out. But agitated cheetahs don't stick around. So I suppose it would be a little bit different if they were really used to you. They might show you agitation but still stay close by. But cheetahs are really well known for being skittish. And so if they are agitated, they tend to completely leave the area. But you know, everything has a comfort zone. So whether it's an elephant or a hippo or an impala or a cheetah, those comfort zones are going to be different, and always the first sign will be body language. So for example, if I was to start the vehicle and drive towards them and they weren't comfortable, the first thing I would notice is they'd start turning towards me and starting to look like they want to get up and move. And that's a sign of discomfort, in which case you would have to stop. And so these are the things you look for when you're training to become a safari guide. But any person who knows animals and respects them, there's a lot of body language that you can use before it gets to the point where they would feel they need to move. And also before it gets to the point where especially they would feel they need to hiss or show their teeth or anything like that. So first thing you would look for, I suppose, is any form of uncomfortable staring, any form of kind of looking to the side and looking a bit nervous. And then from there you would, I suppose, go to the ear positioning, showing of the teeth, showing of the gums, maybe the tail flicking a little bit. It's not quite like a leopard or a lion where just the tip of the tail flicks, and when a lion's really angry the whole tail goes and thrashes onto the ground. That's what I imagine a cheetah would do a bit more, especially if it's lying down. But they tend to flatten themselves quite a lot. Cheetahs are skittish and very shy animals. They tend to flatten themselves quite a bit when they're uncomfortable. They sink backwards as opposed to stepping forwards like a lion or a leopard would if it was pushed to that point. But they're definitely capable of hissing. They're capable of giving quite a decent slap. Remember, they've got nails that can't retract, so you don't want to get to that point. Wesley, thank you so much for your question. Adult cheetah at shoulder height, so at the top of its shoulder, would be probably around 80 to 85 centimeters. So less than a meter. They're quite small. When I say quite small, if you actually stand out and you kind of compare that to your hip height, it would be almost up to your hip. I think I've seen a cheetah that was bigger though, but he was exceptionally large, that I worked with at a rehabilitation center. He was a ridiculously big cheetah. He took me well up to my hip. But he was young as well when he was that big, and then he was rehabilitated. But the average cheetah, about 80 to 85 centimeters. I've been trying to work out how big these three are, because I haven't really seen them up and walking or anything like that in a way that I can actually look at them and go, okay, this is kind of how big you are. I'd love to see the three of them walking together. and compare that to an adult male cheetah, because they're not even 2 years old yet. But I would imagine they're already decent weight for young male cheetahs. They can get up to about 60 kilograms. I think they're easily 40 already, if not more. But I definitely want to see them all up and moving, and I suppose the more time I spend here over the next month, the more I'll get to see them moving and hopefully even chasing things around. Andy, they are being exceptionally good content cats. Content and content. They are just looking so brilliant right now. They are happy, they are calm, they are content, they are relaxed. You can see the two on the sides have put their heads flat down, so they are in a much more restful state, but there's always going to be one of the three that's a little bit more alert to keep his brothers safe. And it's the same in any animal, even impalas do that. Everyone has to be safe out here. And they'll probably take it in turns. I don't know how long it takes for them to rotate. I suppose it'll be different group to group, but they all look very happy. I do think though that they could use a meal. And I might half be saying that because I want to see them running around and chasing something. And you can't blame me for that. They are young male cheetahs. They are absolutely brilliant predators, but at the same time they're also still in that phase where anything that moves is a potential target, purely for the reason of practice. They want to practice how they can do all of these different things, and they've clearly got it down pretty well if they can take down a kudu. I mean, that kudu is quite a